Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunless. Guys, in the last episode we did a lot of flying around getting some money, but today I have remembered that there is a supralapsarian who is asking, or here it is, an initiate of the supralapsarians. London has not risen and shall not rise. You are safe in the deep and the dark and the marvellous. Bring 5 sheafs of ministry-approved literature to the illuminating archivist. I think we're going to go to, is it Wobbly Juxton that sells it? And we're going to go buy ourselves some sheafs of ministry-approved literature to bring back to the stair here. It's not the most serene mausoleum, is it? No. They're panes of stained glass. So yeah, we need to go to Wobbly Juxton. We have the supplies and the fuel. Our terror's looking a bit shifty, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We could always take a quick jaunt around Wobbly, try and lower our terror a little bit, if we feel particularly in trouble. You never know, we might come across some Tacaties. We came across quite a few of those coming up and down this straight last time. I could do with getting a faster engine. That might be nice. I feel like I spend quite a lot of my time driving, but you know, I cannot remember what happens if we give the archivist the sheafs. I think it carries on the storyline of the Avid Horizon, and I am very much intrigued as to what we might be able to do there. I mean, worst case scenario, we get a bit of money, and I can't say no to a bit of money. Right. No, I always forget this giant wall is in the way. I don't want to crash into that. That's a ministry monitor. Hello, my dear friend. I never want to annoy Her Majesty. Having those things hunting you down is just deeply unpleasant. Okay, we're almost there. Well, we're almost there. We're about halfway there, but you know. There's a chance that something nasty is going to jump out. We could always run back towards the monitor if it's particularly bad. Hide behind the police. The best way of dealing with any conflict. You don't want to tackle those things head on. You get in trouble. So far though, apparently, absolutely nothing. We're still looking for Perdurance and the Royal Society, and I don't know where that is. That was another plan I had for today, was to try and find Perdurance and the Royal Society, but I decided that I was going to try and do some missions. I feel like I've kind of lost my way a little bit in the playthrough. In the Reach I was really good at just keep doing the missions while I was exploring, whereas I've come to Albion and I'm just kind of loosely flying around without any real goal or plan, which tends to be a bad thing. Of course, we could go back to the Reach and continue the storyline, the main storyline, finding the truth, preferably before the sun goes up, because I have a funny feeling it is tied to it in some way, and it is slowly having problems, and I don't remember how we deal with it, how we fix it, or how we stop it. I think there's a storyline revolving around it, but I'm not sure. So I guess we'll find out. Worst case scenario, the sun goes out. There we are. Should I do a quick jaunt around Wobbly if I can? While I'm here? My terror is quite high. Welcome to Wobbly Juxton. Let's buy the sheafs before I forget. Oh, good lord, they're 100 each. Yikes. That was bloody expensive. Okay, well. Let's go to Wobbly. What do we need to get in here? You are permitted to enter Wobbly. Is that using our ministry stamp permits? You know the right sorts. Should I use the chairman's favour? That seems like a good trade, I think. You've done work for those important to the ministry. They will have heard of you. The official checks a list for your name, nods, then clicks his fingers twice. Workers from the Bureau of Entertainments quickly commandeer your attention. A man and a woman appearing on each side, both exquisitely dressed, their smiles well-whetted knives. Come already. The courtier doesn't like waiting. You need an outfit. Come. Okay, well, I've recently done this. I'm not going to read it all again. I think we shall have ourselves some fabulous footwear. Of all the finery on display, the footwear is possibly the most avant-garde, with fashions that border on ludicrous. Exciting. It is the courtier who goes to his knees, latticing your foot between his long fingers. In the frame of his black-on-black eyes, your reflection is that of a stranger's, wild and otherworldly. A personal touch is all he says. Courtier does not permit you to rise, nor does he allow you to pick your shoes. Instead, he ferries you options to sift through. High heels, sensible clogs, equestrian boots in the softest leather, open-toed slippers, sandals teased together from gold wires. When he is finally satisfied, he considers you for a long moment. He turns to a wardrobe and hands you several garments, all your size. Once you are dressed, he dismisses you, shooing you into Wobbly just a mare. Okay, well, we're going to try and not gain terror, it's actually surprisingly easy to get terror here. But let's write a board report before we do anything else. We can at least sell that for some money. Let's get ourselves a donkey ride? What an unpleasant ride. No matter how many sugar cubes you sacrifice to its appetites, your donkey insists on remaining truculent. Can't even make faces at it, not even with its watchful halo of glittering insect eyes. You stumble from your donkey, weak at the knees, its voice still razoring against the inside of your skull. But don't worry, our terror's fallen. Somehow. Let's go explore a tiny lane bedecked with shops. A woman calls you over to a stall selling toffee something. They're a little too large to be apples. She assures you with a broad smile that of course they're apples. Maybe you haven't seen one recently and you can't recall how they look. Some of the toffee has fingerprints in it. Still, that child bedecked in frills seems to be eating some without suffering any obvious harm. I could consider the strangeness of its lanes. The lanes do not appear as advertised, but of all their sins, that one is the least phantasmagoric. Should we try it? This enables you to investigate the weirdness of Wobbly just a mare and offers a potentially rewarding opportunity. I do like rewarding opportunities. It is most likely the smiles. Maybe. Carnivore expressions, syrupy and gleaming, faultless mirrors of the courtier's dazzling grin. Or maybe it is the second-rate souvenirs, cobbled from haberdashery and children's nightmares. The arsenic aftertaste of the candy floss. The wine-wild quality of the local perfumes. Could be anything. Could just be your insecurities, the error of your existence. Whatever the case, the lanes continue their watch. Politely, of course. As you become familiar with the oddities of Wobbly, more of the port will become available to you. We gain some terror, which is kind of annoying. But we did get a savage secret and a gourd of oyster nectar, and some salon stewed gossip. Can I do something nice now? Let's go to the beach. No trip to Wobbly is complete without a jaunt along the beach. Let's walk down the beach. My terror has fallen. Lovely. Isn't this nice? Inhale that crisp air. Ignore the way the licorice stink clots in your lungs. Vicious as a swallow of black oil. Right, seek out the stained glass aristocrats. Rich totter around the port sneering. Their eyes are an affection, a mimicry of the mist change done to long-term port workers. If you convince them you're their peer, they will help you to pare the lies away. Silenced you gossip? Can we try it? Oh, let's try it. I'm curious. It's gonna give me terror, I know it is, but I'm so curious. A giggling creche of aristocrats stands waiting by the water, their stained glass eyes incandescent. "The sea glass," they say when you ask. "Hand gathered in the mists, hand inserted by specialists." Your gossip makes them shriek with laughter. When they've finished relishing another's misfortune, they take you by the arms and legs. One with more delicacy than you'd expect peels your eyelids apart. Someone gently whispers, "This will only hurt a little." It's a lie. When the tears finally stop flowing, you can see more clearly the port's naive attempts to be anything but what it is. Ow! Christ! What have they done to my poor eyes? Oh, I don't want to increase my terror more, but wonder what makes the jaunt so disconcerting. A smell billows from the undulating fog. Something familiar, something terrifying. It is hard to miss the phenomenon now that you've spent so much time on the beach. Scintilla of ultramarine light tangle like strands of long hair, or the tendrils of something massive. They are beckoning you. Something is beckoning you. This is perfectly normal. This is precisely how beaches are. So we gained ourselves a caged catch, which is actually quite nice, unless it escapes, in which case then it is not nice. You've gained 1 sky story and a tale of terror, and we gained 5 terror, goddammit. And we have to leave swiftly because our clothes are in tatters. So we lost a little bit of terror there, not as much as I'd like. So let's carry on with our original plan here, which is to go up to the avid horizon. Let me make sure I actually have them in my inventory. I do, 5 sheaths, and we also have quite a few other bits of miscellaneous items that we'll have to put in the bank. Can't say I'm against finding items like that. It means that the trade in Wobbly is actually quite good if you get items as well, because they hold a monetary value. I wonder how the trade works out for ministry stamp permits, whether that is actually a valid way of repeatedly going to Wobbly Juxton there, or if it's better to use something like the, oh god, what are they called? Scientific experiments? The something odd. I can't remember what they're called. What's this? Black smoke. Tackety? More black smoke. It's a marauder. I completely forgot that gun fired 3 times. That's kind of terrifying. It's okay. It's okay. Just stay well out of the way. Oh, I missed. Oh dear. There we go. The marauders are those who defy or have been excluded from Albion's authority. Yeah, let's gain some unusual cargo. A slim clasped box. A silver clasp gleams in your torchlight. Inside, a slim red volume. The bindings are leather. The covers are embossed with gold leaf. It is a book of love poetry, a collection deemed both acceptable by the Ministry of Public Decency and Her Renewed Majesty. A faded daguerreotype of the Prince Consort fills the inside leaf. That's the original photography, isn't it? I've come across that before. It's like a silver sheet. Done by somebody who's named Daguerre, I assume. That's how you go down in history, isn't it? You find something fantastic and then you name it after yourself. I know I would. Not entirely sure what I could find though. I guess I could name a planet or something. Isn't that still a thing where you can find a planet? Or star or comet and have it named after yourself? Time to buy myself a really big telescope. I'm going to spend forever working out, ooh, free stuff, how I can find myself a comet that hasn't already been named. Oh, nobody jumped me. That's a shame. I was like, oh, if somebody does jump me, at least this monitor's here to help me. But nobody did. Colour me surprised. I expected there to be, I don't know, Star-Maddened Explorer. We haven't seen one of them for a while. They always pop up at the worst possible time. The sound of waves lapping at the shore. You are near the sea and the sky. I do wonder how this works. Why there is a sea in the sky? Like, can you go under the sea, or does the sea touch the ground of the skies? If that makes sense. I wonder how it works. I suppose we'll never know, unless, of course, carrying on with the storyline somehow allows me to jump into the sea, which wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. And again, thanks to the oh no, I've forgotten his name. That means it's been way too long since I recorded the evolution series. Oh god, where we went down in the submarine, and we went down really far. I will get round to recording the last one of those. There is one left. I think I have everything I need, and the war in London's over. I've done 2 very long exceptional stories, and I think now I have a day where I'm not recording an exceptional story, so I will have a look to see if I can do the last part of evolution. I'm super excited. I know it goes to Aneurin, and I know it's quite a big thing. I'm kind of terrified. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna be missing something, and I'm gonna have to go all the way back. Doing anything in Fallen London can be quite a pain because of the action limit. Oh, I have to try and maximize the amount of time I can record and minimize the amount of, oh whoops, I forgot this item that's incredibly important. It's going to take 40 actions to grind out. There is currently an event going on in Fallen London about shifting streets, which I find is kind of interesting. You can seek out ruins of the second, the third, and the fourth city. Not the first, because I have a funny feeling there's nothing left of the first. Right, here we are. The stair to the sea. Right, Mr. Superlapsarian. I have your books. Do I have to return to the flotilla? I believe I do. Here, among abandoned boats on the quiet sea, the similarly abandoned and forgotten of Albion have made their homes. Here we go. Speak with the illuminated archivist, the sickly leader of the Supralapsarians. He inducted you into the first of their mysteries. Might he be willing to divulge more? He has built a hideaway inside the cargo hold of a rotting London steamer. Yes, let's request another reading of the word. Bring me pen and ink. You may copy the text from my skin so that you may have it with you always, even when you travel from this place. This was very expensive. His emancipated breast is marked with what appears to be a timetable. The trains leave from Moloch Street between the hours of 12 and 12. This is on Ladybones Road, he continues, reciting scraps of knowledge from old London. He traces a scar running down the curve of his chest. And here, the address of a honey-wrecked detective is on the mend. He traces a honey vial that hangs above a rib. Such things we have pulled from the drifts by the gate. Messages left behind. Perhaps they came through. Perhaps they were abandoned. That is a lot of references to Fallen London right there. So, you have read a little of the word. Provide a moment of inspiration for the illuminated archivist. Do I have a moment of inspiration? No, I do not. Bring me a memory of old London, as she might be now. Quiet and peaceful, with her most troublesome elements all fled to the sky. Tell me of Wolfstack and the Z, the smoke and the smog. Okay, so we need a moment of inspiration. I don't know where we get one of those easily. That's quite a rare item. And I have definitely not come across any of them. Let's leave the Flotero. I don't need to do this right now. As much as I would like to spend some time with my brothers. Let's the sitting in contemplation lower my terror? No. Here be dragons. Let's depart. So what do I want to do next? Let's have a look at our journal. We're like down here. A lot of that other stuff is in the reach. Initiate, yeah, we need a moment of inspiration. The Chamberlain's absence. You've been given reason to believe that the Dismal Chamberlain, the de facto leader of the Deathless, is missing. The Dismal Chamberlain is missing. Perhaps this merits further investigation. Now, I'm not entirely sure how we do that. Maybe we go back to the mausoleum and talk to some more people. Councillor's daughter. The councillor has requested you rescue her daughter. Visit Purderance. I'm trying to find Purderance. Election called. Parliamentary seat is available for Purderance. I'm trying game. Politics and knavish tricks. You've become involved in Parliament and you've invited to become a PMP. I need 3 ministry stamped permits to free the half-glass man. Maybe we could do that, but Purderance, we need to find Purderance. But I think this is something we're going to have to worry about in the next episode. So thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel. It really does help me make these videos. And, as always, I'll see you next time.